About a week ago, I did a video on there being 7 rail yards in Council Bluffs at one time, along with turntables and roundhouses. And the link to that video is below in the description, just FYI. So I posted that and got lots of feedback. And it turns out there were nine rail yards, turntables, roundhouses in Council Bluffs at one time. So let's talk about just a little recap of what the previous video had, link in the description, and maybe a couple of mistakes that I made. I had the Chicago Northwestern and the Illinois Central yards right here, just so you can see my cursor. I had that correct. The turntable for the Chicago Northwestern somewhere down here. Turntable and roundhouse remnants very visible for the Illinois Central right there. And you can see that in the previous video. I had the Union Pacific correct, but Dwayne in the Omaha History Club had some updated information for me. He worked for the railroad in the 70s and was involved in the construction of the transportation building. And when they were clearing this area to build it, they found the footings for an old roundhouse right in here. So in this area, the parking lot and the transportation building, there was a roundhouse and a turntable, according to Dwayne, and he would know, he was there. And then he also confirmed that there was a turntable and roundhouse somewhere in here as well. And in my previous video, I hazard a guess that maybe this was the remnants of a turntable, and it looks like it probably was. And then, let's go down here a little bit. I was way off on where the Chicago Great Western was. Somebody had told me that it was down by Highway 275, which is this, and I think it was a typo. He meant 375. So I said the Chicago Great Western was here. Now, they merged with the Chicago Northwestern in 1968, and as of now, 90% of the track doesn't even exist. But that's I was wrong in where I had it. Where it was right here in this area, the Chicago Great Western. And the roundhouse is where there's a ConAgra parking lot now. Ryan Ronfeld with the Omaha History Club, he's a published author on Council Bluffs and Omaha history, said that the last time he drove by here, he remembers some of these buildings being part of, being there when the Chicago Great Western was there. And then Thomas, who has lived here all his life, said these were the diesel shops down here where Red Giant Oil is now, and you got to wonder if some of that is left over from the Chicago Great Western. And I'm going to try and see if we can get a close-up on some of those buildings. No, that one's not working. Okay. So this building, there's a building down here and a building down here that Ryan remembers being there when he was a kid, when the Chicago Great Western yard was there, and then the roundhouse would have been over here where there's a ConAgra parking lot. So that's all interesting stuff. And then Thomas thought that maybe the Wabash yard, which I was kind of guessing was in this area somewhere, he was thinking it was maybe south or in another location. Now, this looks like a turntable, remnants of a turntable. So was that Wabash? Was it over in here somewhere, maybe? Because, this is pretty desolate. Watco, short line operator, has a terminal here, but and nothing with railroads. So it was in here, maybe down in here or something. I was pretty close on Wabash. I wasn't as far off as I was with Chicago Great Western. And then Thomas also said that Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy had a roundhouse and probably therefore a yard right about here. And I think what he said was it was right about where the on-ramp is from 16th Avenue to the South Expressway. So that would put it right about here. This area over here is pretty barren, so possibly it extended over into there. I would think it would, but that was C, B, and Q. That makes 8. Okay, follow me so far. And then Ryan Ronfeld, and boy, credit Ryan. Only Ryan would know this, okay? But he said there was a short-lived railroad called the Iowa-Omaha Short Line Railway. I think I got that name right. It was in business from 1908 until 1916. I think that's what I saw online. And it was south of the Tasty Freeze here. And it intersected, they had a yard, and it intersected the Wabash, and here's the old Wabash line right here. And intersected somewhere here, so the yard was, it was a small yard, so I'm guessing it was right here or something, right here. It's been gone for 106 years, but anyhow, that's where it was. And then in my previous video, if you want to go back and watch that, I show you where the Milwaukee Road yard was and the remnants of a roundhouse and turntable. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. You can help me by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing. Leave a comment below if there's information you can add, or maybe if I had something wrong, please feel free to leave a comment. I read all of them. And again, thanks for taking the time. Have a good one.